Hey, it's Red Lace, and these are my first impressions and what's new in Miramar, the new map coming to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on Xbox May 24th, 2018. One of the first things I noticed jumping out of the plane was that wind appears to be a factor in-game now, really affecting your jumps when you're trying to go long distance. You'll need to keep an eye on that. Miramar is the same size as the original map on PUBG. It is an open desert with large mountains and very little foliage unless you're down on the southwest side of the map. The circle, when it comes out on map, is very faint. It's much harder to see because of the color of the map being a desert. And that's something I really hope they change. It just feels a little too faint. It's kind of hard to see. You have to look at it a few times, especially when you're zoomed in closer. So you'll notice where I am right now. I am in the area with some foliage. It's the darker bit on the map, so there's some grass, but pretty much this is what the whole map looks like. Dry, desert, dusty, not a whole lot of cover, so you really need to use the terrain to your advantage in this map. Because of the terrain, you'll find yourself wanting to be in a vehicle a lot more than you usually do on the previous map, and I'm currently in the van, which is also known as the bus, because it looks like a Volkswagen bus, and it provides really great cover on the fly, like I used it right here. The problem with the van is that it has a very slow start and does not travel very well at all on the rough terrain or up hills. The other car that's actually really nice for traveling around here is the pickup, also known as the Bronco, because it looks similar to a Ford Bronco, and your teammates can actually get in the back of the bed, and one of the cool things about being in the back of the pickup is that you can peek over the top of the pickup and fire at people looking ahead of you. The Buggy is still here in the game and is one of the best vehicles in my opinion on Miramar because of its ability to travel so well on the bumpy terrain, and you do a lot of off-roading in Miramar, and so the Buggy is a really good bet, although it doesn't provide much cover at all when you're being shot at, so that's something to keep in mind. Other vehicles available to you include the motorcycle, the sidecar, the motorcycle, and then for water vehicles the PG-117, the Aqua Rail, and the plane, of course, that you drop out of. Looting in Miramar takes a little bit of practice, but it's easy to get used to, and you'll start looting quickly in no time. Lots of loot is in exterior locations. Lots of them are in crates, such as one I just came out of. There's also exterior ladders, lots more rooftops than you're used to, and interior buildings have lots of open spaces such as this where you are exposed, so you will want to be a little cautious when you're looting buildings, just because the looting is slightly different, but you'll get used to it quickly. Hot drops. Areas are hotter than ever. Expect battles right after landing, even more so than you do on the original map, due to the fact that wind is a factor and people don't seem to jump as far. There are also some cities that people tend to cluster around for lots of loot, and so you'll want to be sure to grab that gun as quickly as you can and make use of what you have. There are a variety of new buildings with different layouts and different styles in Miramar. I am currently in a duplex style house which has a long hallway down the middle and two stairwells like this on each side, which is one that takes a little while to get used to because you're not used to looting in that manner, but you'll get used to it after a bit. It also has exterior decks you can jump off of, so you'll find lots of duplexes. You'll also find lots of farming equipment that you'll loot and warehouses. Many small towns have different tiny little buildings, often with vantage points from exterior rooftops such as the one I'm on right now, and you'll really want to take advantage of being up and outside to see people running in the open, especially on this map when they are very noticeable. There are a ton of large warehouses on Miramar. Many offer lots of hiding places. Interior stairs and noisy footsteps on metal flooring, though, however, can make it good to camp out points and wait for people to come to you. You will hear them coming. The metal footsteps are extremely noisy, more noisy in my opinion than I think the wood flooring is that you often hear in normal houses on the original map. So go ahead and take advantage of your environment and watch your entry points, and you can hopefully find success. I did experience some audio issues during my time on the test servers. Audio would desync occasionally, which made it a little difficult to play during the combat moments such as these, but usually I was able to get through it. I did encounter some other bugs during my playthrough on the test servers. The Play-Doh buildings still exist on drops. Furniture was not loading in. It would usually have a delay. And getting trapped in walls inside buildings was also a thing I sadly experienced, and so did many of my teammates, where out of nowhere we'd be going into a building and suddenly you're trapped inside the interior walls and you could see the enemies, but the enemies couldn't see you. Lots of new guns came out with Miramar. The Winchester Model 1894 is a lever-action repeating sniper rifle using 45 ACP rounds. Knockdown is guaranteed with headshots without a level 2 helmet or higher, and it uses bolt loops for snipers as its only attachment. The sawed-off is the smallest shotgun in Miramar, and it also takes the same slot as a handgun and not a primary slot, which we're used to seeing with shotguns. Short double barrel holds 2 rounds, really only useful at point blank range from my experience, as it has the shortest range of all the handguns. Even though it's a shotgun, it's kind of considered a handgun. It does require 12 gauge ammo. The R45, aka the Rhino, is a pistol replacing the R1895. It is a 6-shooter firing 45 caliber cartridges. It's very powerful but has a small ammo capacity with an average firing rate. I personally didn't get a lot of experience with this gun, but some people seem to like it. As for the other 2 new guns, the Winchester, I was not a fan of at all. It takes way too long between shots, so unless you have range on your enemy, it's really not a very good gun in my opinion. The sawed-off I found useful in very close range, but beyond that it was pretty useless, and I ended up usually preferring my pistols, so I didn't pick up sawed-offs if I saw them, if I had an alternative option. In conclusion, Miramar is a really fun map. It is long to medium range weapons are usually your best bet in this one, as there's lots of open space. I also felt like it was a more tactical map than the original one, in that you need to learn to use the terrain to your advantage, and you can't rely on hiding in the grass or behind a tree for cover because you're often in the open. So I thought it was a very interesting experience, and I really look forward to playing more of it. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please like it down below for more like this, and also subscribe to the channel. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Red Lace Gaming, as well as Mixer for live streams at Red Lace Gaming, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching!